Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is also daylight savings time here in the United States, and it screws a lot of people up. I don't know why we keep doing this, but that's not what this is about. Also, uh, yeah, it's hotter than Hades here in Florida right now. Well, it's not that hot, but it's hot. And I probably should turn on my air conditioning, but I haven't yet this morning, and that's okay. Or afternoon. Yeah, see, again, the time change has me screwed up. But I have had a really great morning. A lot of connection with spirit. So I just wanted to take this time, this opportunity to jump on and see what message they may have for the rest of us right now. So, just taking a deep breath and spirit wants to talk about what feels like a lot of chaos to a lot of people that may or may not be showing up in your life, but certainly is showing up in the world right now. And I'm going to throw in here two factors that I just want to make point of saying, which is one, I personally do not follow the news. I don't dig into the news. Of course, you'd have to be living under a rock to not hear about certain things. And of course, I have impressions um, around all of those things that are going on in the world, but I don't have specifics to them. And also, I want to throw out there that I never go back and watch what has already been talked about in another channeling. So I just want to throw in here because they're making me feel like today's message is similar to one that I've brought through before. And they're saying what's really important for people to know and understand. And if you're watching this is for you, of course, is that you can make a choice to get caught up in the chaos. It's not like just because I don't tune into the news and I'm not immersed in the details and up to date going ons doesn't mean that I'm burying my head in the sand. And they make me feel like that there's a lot of people that speak out and share spiritual knowledge, spiritual information, and they kind of can be at one end or the other of the extreme. Either they want everyone to be called up, and there's kind of this fiery, attacking, defensive energy, or they're kind of burying their heads in the sand and, saying it's all love and light, and this is what is termed spiritual bypassing. They want you to know that you don't have to take a call to arms, that's their words, not mine, around what's happening right now in the world to know and understand that this is collective. They're also saying to me that it's karmic. Collectively, it's the collective karma. And also, they're saying for some, they might even call it destiny. This is the time in which we are collectively raising the vibration of humanity, and it looks like a shit show. It looks like a shit show. It feels like a shit show. And also, it would be, if you're not protecting yourself energetically and doing the things that you could be doing to allow you to be more grounded and stronger, because it's a choice. It's a choice to either be a victim of the energy or to be a victim of what is going on and sort of the darkness, the low energies, however you want to relate to it, however you connect to it, what it describe, how you would describe it. You can be a victim to those things, or else you can decide that you have sovereignty over it. That your personal power is one which is connected and tied into the most supreme divine love power. And so there's nothing that you can be victim of. There's no energies that you have to take on and have to be overriding you, overwhelming you, or influencing you. There are always things that you can be doing to, again, like I said, protect yourself. You have control over it, you have choice over it, and also your sovereign power, your sovereign energy is always stronger than anything which is of lower energies. So that's for people that know and understand that they're highly sensitive, empathic, and are feeling overwhelmed and want to either intentionally or unintentionally, consciously or unconsciously, are playing out a story that says, I am the victim. And I'm sure you're not using that word if this is applying to you, but I am out of uncontrolled. It is out of my control. I am overrun by. I can't help but take on what everybody else is feeling. That does not have to be the case at all. You just have to remember who you are. And in all fairness, there are times and places where, even though I did a lot of protection for myself regularly, daily, all the time, um, and then got to a place where I realized I didn't actually need to go through kind of the ritual understanding. I have, even in the last few weeks, found myself to be overrun by a sense of anxiety, anxiousness, feeling turmoil inside. Like, I can't really explain it. It's like a push pull feeling inside. And there's also like this really solid, grounded, running backbone that I have that feels unwavering and really sure, but there's still kind of this phonetic energy that I've been getting even in myself. And I realized even that, maybe there was a part of me that wasn't fully aligned or believing to the fact that I don't actually need protection from outside energies. And so I, even for myself, some days fall into a place where I have to, surround myself with the energy and the idea that I can be sovereign of only that which is divine. And I invite you to use the same phrasing if it helps you. I surround and embody only that which is in alignment, perfect alignment with divine God source energy. If it serves me and others to have awareness of their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and energies, then I will have awareness of them, but I will not take them on. I will not absorb them. They are unable to attach themselves to me or influence me in any way, shape, or form, body, mind, or spirit. And, you know, It doesn't have to be all that, and it could be crystal. I've talked about this before. It can be you hold on to a crystal. It can be seeing yourself surrounded by angels. It can be Saint Germain, Archangel Michael shedding light, shielding you with their whatever, whatever, whatever. No right or wrong. Choose what's best for you. The message, though, is that you don't have to fall victim to any of this. Now, to go back to the point where we kind of started and then we deviated, was that this chaotic energies, this falling away, and I know I've talked about this before, um, of the systems, of the energies, of the beliefs, of the powers that be that have overseen and overrun us for centuries and generations. It is deeply ingrained in us. All of that is shifting and going away, hence all this chaos. Your role is not necessarily to, it's certainly not to bypass it spiritually and to be like, I'm just going to sit in my home and shed light and send love. And it's okay to do that. And that is powerful and it will have influence, they say to me, but only when you're in truth and energetic alignment, when you can feel that coming out of you as a sense of power and not trying to force something, and also not blindly parroting what you have heard others say to do. The idea of power versus force is also very, very important to know and understand. See, there's no amount of doing, and we talk about, I talk about this, they talk about it to me, through me. Struggle, if you follow me on social media, then you know that I talk a lot about business owners and that ending the struggle, the constant wanting to do. I've talked about it on my podcast about from a healing perspective how there's a fixing mode. The sort of call to arms, if you will, is not actual arms. It's not to stand in an energy of force, of wanting to exert creative energy or that which you think or maybe even know to be true, forcing that onto others, trying to gain understanding through actions, through standing up, through making a scene, through using your voice. It's all about the energy behind it. Are you tapped into saying, like, honestly, like, I think that I am trying to do as I follow their guidance, their word for me, their inspired action that they give me. I am trying to do it in the best form that I can by saying, I will share and say and be as much as I can an example of that which I know to be true and that which I know, if spread, if shared, will have an effect on the collective, even in the most minuscule ways. But we all know that butterfly effect where with a tiny, tiny little movement or motion, it when it shifts that course, it ends up being in a totally different destination endpoint, right at the down the line from where you would have landed should you have not done even the tiniest, smallest action. And so it can be really, really hard some days to remember that what is a minuscule moment or what feels like a really simplified very little low impact um, thing that I say or thing that I do can actually have bigger effects. It's showing me kind of like a sponge, the way that like the smallest amount of moisture can get absorbed and it turns that hard brick into a softer thing. And sometimes it's just the moisture in the air. It doesn't even have to be a drop of water that came from anywhere. If it's just in a really humid condition, that hardened sponge, which turns into like a little solid block, can even get soft there. There's a changing of the matter, there's a changing of the energy, there's a changing of the condition of the sponge through what feels like almost nothing. Like I said, maybe it's just the moisture in the air. They're saying that's all that we have to do, but it's about the intentionality and it's about where you're at in your head, in your heart, of course, but just listening. Because we're all taught, and I've probably even said on my own at times, that it's about the real energy, the real knowing is in your heart center. It's never in your mind. Your brain is your ego. It is human. It is nothing but, and I posted a quote around this or a thought around this. What we think of as logical reasoning, what we think of as rational, reasonable, the way that we often get to solutions or want to solve problems or think about things is very linear and it's very cerebral. It's in our minds, it's in our brains. All that's really happening is your mind, your brain, if you think about it like a computer, it is taking in this coding through past experiences and created predictable projected outcomes based on the data that it's already been given from before. So it's not picking up on anything new. That sensory of the way things are shifting and the way that we create new experiences, and what's happening now is that they're saying that's where the chaos feeling is coming from for so many people, is that it's like going blind. What is happening is beyond what we have and what we're shifting into, they're saying, is beyond what we have determined as routinely happening patterns of thought, belief, behavior, whatever. So we can't move through that linear space anymore. A does not lead to B, which gets to C. And so they're saying everything's all A, B, C at the same time. And so your mind is not able to kind of follow along or help you move through this in that fashion. And it's creating a sense of instability and a sense of uncertainty, which is making you feel really unsafe and it's making everything feel like chaos, which is normal. And it's very, very human. They want us to know and to be reminded that the real truth is that ABC always exists all at the same time. And just because we're seeing them all at the same time right now, and we're not able to logically, linearly, rationally move ourselves from A to B to C, because there's a part of us where it's more evident now that ABC is like all there at the same time. I'm trying to think of, or I'm asking them for an analogy, a way to be able to explain it. so that it can make sense to you, the concept of what they're explaining, the difference between A leading to B to leading to C, and how that feels normal to us, that feels stable to us, and that feels familiar to us. Whereas having ABC show up at the same time all together is so unfamiliar that it's overwhelming. And so they're not really giving me an example. But hopefully you're able to grasp that. Hopefully you're able to understand that that's where this chaos feeling is coming from. It's less about, they're saying to me right now, it's less about what people are doing, people in the world that you see on the news, whatever. It's less about what those people are doing and what you need to do about it. It is about getting to a place where we can understand that there needs to be a new way of doing things, and the best way, they say, for that to do the doing is to learn how to just be the emitter of that which you really are, which is the divine sovereignty. It is, because they're saying it's also certainty. But that is who you are. And if you can just be in that energy, not from a head place, not from a place of wanting to parrot what others have shared and you have taken in through YouTube, here I am. What you have taken in through books, or like listening to somebody, or somebody being a guru for you. If you can just truly sit in yourself and be in that energy, allow yourself to radiate, to emit, and admit, that energy, that vibration, that frequency, which you actually are, that is all the doing that you need to be doing. So that's the message for this week. I hope that helps you. I hope that it feels good to you and it brings up truth. I hope that you know that it is the truth. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love hearing your thoughts and comments on things that I post, so please make sure you do that. Don't forget to subscribe so that you always know about new videos that I put out here on the channel. And don't forget to share with those that you like and love. So, everyone, have a great week.